today we're talking about the cosine law, okay? So we're going to use the cosine law when we do not have a right angled triangle like the sine law. But the difference between the sine law and the cosine law is that we use the cosine law when we have like three sides. When we only know the side lengths, we can use the cosine law. Or if we have two side lengths and an angle, and we're looking for that missing side length, if that corresponds to that angle that we know, then we can find that. Okay, does that make sense? Or are you just like Mr. Jones? That is too much words.
Too many words.
Too many words. Show me a problem. Show me what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I can do that. Okay, so we use cosine law when? Well, we talked about that when we don't have a right angle triangle and we do not have a matching side of pairs and angles. So our picture must look something like this.
Or
If we know these three things, we can find this. We can find that sine length. Okay? Or if we know A, B, and C, we can find a side length. Okay? So if we have, back to our S's, right? If we have side, 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 we can use the cosine law. Or if we have
side angle side.
side, angle, side, if we got sass, we can use our cosine law.
I have lots of sass.
Sorry?
I have lots of sass.
Yeah, so you'll like the cosine law then.
What?
Okay? So, the cosine law is written in two different ways. Okay, so you guys have these on your notes. Yeah. So one is c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times cos of c. Okay, so this is the side we don't know.
C squared.
Yeah, c. C is the side that we don't know. And this C is the angle we do know. Okay, I'll show you what I mean by that. So if this is C, right, if we know the value of C, we can find this length if we also know the values of A and B. Okay, so if we know A, and we know B, and we know C, we can find C. Okay, but if we are solving for C, what must we do to our equation to solve for just C? We do absolutely need the square root of it as well. So the last step is to take the square root of everything, okay? So make sure that you don't forget to take the square root of that, okay? I'm going to show you guys how to enter this into your calculator in one step because it's going to make our lives easier, okay? So we just cannot forget to take the square root there, okay? All right, so that is one strategy. And the second strategy, or way two, when we're looking for an angle, we can use the second way that the cosine law is written, right?
Yeah.
So cos C is equal to a squared plus b squared minus c squared over 2a. So in this case, we would know a, B, and C. We know all of our side lengths. And then if we're looking for C, Okay, just be careful. Remember, the angles are going to be opposite from that side length, right? So this is angle C, this is side C, right? So if we are looking to find, so we can find that angle if we know A, if we know B, and we know C, we can find C. Okay, but like last time, there was one more step that we had to do to actually find the value of C. How do we get C by itself here?
Divided.
By what?
So.
Divided by itself?
Yeah.
So you want me to divide by cos C?
Oh wait, no. Doesn't make any sense.
But, so what's attached to that C, Cody?
Well, cos.
Cosine, right?
Yeah.
And what's the opposite of cosine?
Yeah. Whatever. It's cosine -1.
Yeah, the inverse, right? Perfect. Okay, so again, you need to do second cos to get the angle, right? You need to take the inverse of that. Question?
Nope, I'm done.
You're done?
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I'll get you sorted out in a minute, okay? Okay, perfect. So that's the cosine law, okay? So if we know, so in this case, if we have side, 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 we can find,
She just dipped out of here.
if we know side, 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 we can find that angle. And if we have SAS,
We can find the side length.
we can find the side length, yeah. Okay, so just make sure you know when to use which version of the cosine law. Okay, proofing the cosine law. Are you guys interested in this?
Yeah, let's watch it.
You do want to watch it?
Yeah, we're down to watch it.
Okay.
Is this?
Okay, so here we go. We're getting into it. So calculate length of CB to the nearest meter. Okay, so I'm going to write our cosine law on the board. I know you guys have it in your notes. Sorry? Yeah, exactly. Then you don't have to flip back, and then it's up on the boards. All good, Brandon? Yep. Sweet. There they are. I got a marker set from Costco,
Yeah.
so my notes have color now. Pretty extra. It's all fun and games until you make a mistake.
You should just do the notes and print them off for us.
No. No. You guys gotta do it. I'm lazy. Okay, actually that's what I was doing. Right, I'm gonna write the cosine laws. So, what are we looking for here? Angle or side length?
Side length.
Okay, good. So, which?
The one you're writing out, that's what
Yeah.
we use.
Yes, exactly.
Because why would you write out the wrong one?
Well, I'm gonna write the other one up here too.
Oh.
Okay, so this is when looking for side length. So okay, and then, so for me, it really helps to go, okay, this is side A, this is side B, and this is C, and this is angle C. It just helps me kind of like organize everything when I'm putting it into that equation. Okay? So you know our A, B, and our angle C value, so start putting them into this equation. I'm gonna write up the other one too.
So you're gonna show us how to do it all in one step, like with the
Yep.
square rooting?
Yep, I will, for sure.
What? Can I get this out from that? If
Yep.
he gets it just in that timing, I'm gonna laugh. Leave that one. He's like, I'm never gonna hear the end of the ceremony. I'm like, no, you are not.
Okay. So we're looking for a side length, right? So we're going to use c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab over cos c. Okay, so we know a, b, and c, so we can just kind of go and put these into our equation, okay? Now, if we're solving for C, what must we do first? Take the square root of it, okay? And are we going to do it to one side or both sides? Both sides. Ah, notice, no matching pairs. Okay, that's good. So we have to use our cosine law, right? And if we have isolated for C, we're going to get C is equal to the square root of this big whole honkin' thing, okay? So the square root of A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of C, right? Are we all good with that? All I did was just take the square root of each side, okay? So now, and so you guys can enter this into your calculator in one step, okay? So first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna do square root, okay? Do this with me, please. Except for Cody, because he doesn't have a calculator today. Okay, so do the square root button, and then it's automatically going to open up a bracket for you, right? Okay? So, it's important that you close that bracket at the very end. Okay, but that's not until the very end. Okay, so just don't forget to do that. And now is what we're going to do. We're just going to put our values in, and we're going to use brackets to make sure that we don't mess anything up. Okay, brackets are our friend. Okay, so my A value is 32, so 32 squared, plus B, which is 40 squared, minus, now we want to minus this entire term, okay? So I'm going to put a bracket there, and then 2 multiplied by A, which is 32, multiplied by B, which is 40, multiplied by cosine of C, so cosine 58. Okay, now I need to close that bracket. And I'm pretty sure actually when you do cosine, it automatically opens a bracket, so just make sure you close that too, okay? So at the end, you should...
We have much different things.
There'll be 3 closing brackets at the end. Okay, so enter it into your calculator just like this.
0.4554.
I got 35.6.
35.6 sounds good. 35.6 perfect. Let me see what you did.
I went cos square root 32 squared, 40 squared.
Okay, no, but so
You shouldn't have started with
you shouldn't have started with cosine.
Oh, I thought I.
Too many brackets in this.
Oh, I thought I had to.
Okay. If you find that it's like confusing and annoying with the brackets, you don't need to do them with the brackets, okay? You can totally do 32 squared plus 40 squared minus 2 times 32 times 40 times cos 58, and then take the square root of that. Okay, that's totally fine. I don't care if you do it that way. I like doing it all in one step, right? Because then you can just write it down in your calculator like you have on your paper, and then you have one calculation. You could potentially put the brackets in the wrong place, you're right. But if you put them in the right place, it is one calculation. Okay, that's
Cosine 58 bracket equals 48.
35.6. Okay, what are you doing?
After example 3?
No. This example 2. After example 1.
I think I'm going to overkill on the square root.
What's that, Brody?
I'm a little overkill on drawing my square root.
That's okay. Hey, you don't want to make sure that you don't run out of space, right? Okay, notice right away we don't have any matching pairs, right? We have side, angle, side. So which one are we going to use?
The one we used before.
Yep, the one we used before, and we're going to look for this side right here. That's our angle C. I'm going to call this A and that B. It doesn't really matter what you call your A or your B, okay? As long as your C's are across from one another, okay? Okay, so I'll use the cosine law to solve for f. So I'm looking for side angle f or c, whatever you
Side angle.
side angle. Maybe. I've had a rough morning. I was printing stuff to Warner today.
To Warner.
Not because I meant to. Just this is how it worked.
So your school now has.
They know what I'm doing for the week. Okay, so we're gonna use cosine law and the same one as we used last time. C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So I'm just gonna write this. So C is equal
No, that's minus.
to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c. Okay, so I get c is equal to the square root of 25 squared plus 30 squared minus, what's that?
Is this supposed to be a big number?
One more time.
Why did
Is it supposed to be like a big number?
19.4.
Nope, I did wrong.
It's gonna be, careful with the brackets.
I got 19.3. Is that right or wrong?
Just watch your rounding.
Well, 19.4.
Yes, 19.4 is
You
perfect.
get the
Yes, I do.
I would write it down.
Okay, so minus 2 times a.
Oh,
Did it work? Did you get it?
yeah, I missed the bracket.
Multiplied by cosine of 40. Close that bracket. Close.
Violate.
Close.
You liked it.
I did
You
not.
put 25 squared
I'm
plus
not
30
voting.
minus 20, 30 equals 40. C is equal to 19.4 meters.
Poor Tanner got sent to the office.
Huh?
Poor Tanner got sent to the office.
410.
Tanner.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who's here today?
Tanner?
Tanner?
Weist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Or
here?
what?
Was he, do you have him first class?
Yeah.
He skipped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's got getting in trouble.
Good. Don't skip.
I was like, why are they getting in trouble? And they're like, because they both skipped. Wait, what class?
Who,
is
Rhett
that?
and Tanner?
Science 10. They're both in.
Ryan's here too, I'm guessing then.
I don't know. I didn't see him.
I know he's here, but like, Ryan's in your class? Yeah.
Can you do this one step too?
Yes, you can. Emery, did you get it?
Wait, do you have to find the square root also with this?
No.
Okay.
But you do have to take the cosine inverse.
Oh.
Are you in radian?
Second cosine.
Oh, worked the last time I did it. Wait, it won't work this time.
Do I do the inverse after I finish everything or like before?
Right before it. Just kind of like the square root thing.
So the cosine, like second cosine, then a squared b.
Yeah.
A squared.
Yeah. 25 squared times 30 squared minus 2 times 25 times 30 times cos 40. So open, close.
Who's Clifford drawing?
There was a printout and Jessica colored it. We talked about this in class already. It was a big discussion.
I know.
Okay, sometimes.
Disappointed when you
Are you mad at me?
you
Yes,
just
I'm
need to
very
reset.
fucking mad at you.
So you go
Well, I'm not
second,
at you, because you never let me
then
do chases.
7.
And I'm mad at you because you didn't fight me.
Okay,
You
let's start.
scared me.
Enter it one more time. Right?
Jordan, you still have plans for tonight, right?
We're not doing anything tonight.
Wait, what?
What are we doing tonight?
Applications of the cosine law. Okay? So Sandra is taking the same orienteering course as Jeremy in lesson 2. Sandra is standing at checkpoint C. Sandra's right there. Okay, let's give her a little.
Give her some hair. Give her a dress.
What color of hair should we want? Blue?
Sure.
Marty Simpson?
I want you.
It's beautiful. That's her dress. Actually, I guess I should cover her bottoms.
It's a Christmas tree.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
can we bring Cody?
Don't listen to him.
I
What?
said that he was mad, and to get back now, can you can I take a video of you saying get back now? Like you're angry.
I don't think Jones could fake being angry.
Okay. All right.
He could be
No,
actually-
no, no. Okay, so this is 2 other checkpoints. In order to walk in the correct direction, she needs to determine the angle between checkpoint A and checkpoint B. So right here is what we're looking for. So What
I cleared my entire thing off before I entered.
do we have here? Side, side, side,
False, wait, outside.
outside, 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 yeah.
There's technically
Okay, so if we know our side lengths and we're looking for an angle, which formula are we gonna use?
The Chinese one.
No, not the Chinese one.
It says Chinese.
That is
Big
not.
numbers.
Oh,
When looking for an angle, we want to use cos C is equal to a squared plus b squared minus c squared over 2ab. Now, remember to be solving for c, we need to take the cos inverse of a squared plus b squared minus c squared all over 2ab. Okay, so what is important here is not the a and the b. I don't really care. Just say what is what. But it is important that our side angle, or like the angle that we're looking for, is across from side C. Okay, so 22 meters has to be our C, and this angle in here is going to be our angle C. Okay, so again, we can enter this into our calculator in one step if we enter it properly. Okay, so C is equal to cos inverse. Okay, so be careful, and just watch me do this, please, because I want to make sure that you get the right brackets. So right away it opens a bracket, right? Okay, so now you need to open a bracket for the numerator. Okay, open a bracket for the numerator, and now we're gonna do a squared in brackets, so 33 squared plus b squared, which is 28 squared.
Do you have to have 3 brackets?
Yep. Minus c squared, which is 22 squared.
Why do you have to bracket each number?
Because I just don't want that exponent going somewhere else where it shouldn't be, okay? Okay.
What I did wrong.
So after you have a squared plus b squared minus c squared, close off your top brackets, okay? And then divide, and then you're going to do another bracket for your denominator. Okay? So then you have 2 times a times b, which is 28. Okay? Close off your bottom bracket, and then lastly, you need to close off the whole thing.
What I did wrong.
Okay.
Every time I do it, I go down.
Bracket.
Okay.
41?
Put it in my
Yep.
bracket.
41 degrees, you bet. Okay, so let's go.
I did it
So
right.
second coast, right? Okay. And then, so it opens up a bracket already. So now let's do a bracket for the numerator. So, and then a brackets for everything. So 33 squared,
Oh, another bracket.
closed, plus 28 squared, closed.
I did 3 brackets at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And then minus 22 squared, close.
Please don't rush me while I'm dropping the kids off at pool. Ryan,
What?
don't rush me while I drop the kids off at pool.
Okay, now let's close our numerator bracket. Now divide.
Sorry.
Now we'll open the denominator one, and then we're gonna do 2 times 33 times 28. Close the denominator one, and then close all of them. Now enter. Voila. 41 degrees.
My only issue was I missed like a couple brackets.
Yeah, so it can be, yeah, I don't know what to say here. I mean, I would definitely recommend this, right? There's just less opportunity for us to make mistakes just doing simple calculations, right? Oh, sorry, Cody.
Oh,
Right? So when you are writing this down for me on a quiz or on an assignment, So write it down as you see it on this board here, okay? Because if I see at this point that you have everything in the right spot, but then you get the wrong answer, then I know it's just a calculation mistake, okay? So I'll only take off like half a mark instead of a whole mark.
Could the equation be like C equals bracket A squared bracket brackets and those?
What do you mean? Like for up here?
Yeah. Something
Like that?
no, if I memorize the brackets in the equation.
Oh, no, you do not need to memorize this equation. I will give this to you. For sure. For sure, I will give you both of these.
What? I didn't get a clear answer.
You gotta be careful.
33 squared. Oh, yeah. What do you do when you go? Oh shit! I went times by instead of divided by.
And you're supposed to subtract 22 squared.
Dude, how do you do it?
Oh no, sorry. I was supposed to go subtract, and I went times 22
Yep,
squared.
so do second enter. And then it all pops up again.
Now what do I do?
Now you can scroll through it with that. Now you can go fix your minus. Oh, okay, careful.
Oh, I'm right
Careful,
there
okay.
now.
Second, insert. And then you can do that. If you need to
Oh,
fix something, okay, you go second, insert, and then whatever you need.
Okay.
And you just do one more bracket.
Do you have is there a textbook question we're doing or like a
Yeah.
worksheet?
There is. Second, insert, and you bracket at the beginning.
Is there a quiz on this tomorrow?
Yeah.
You should make it Wednesday.
Should I?
We have a big freaking test tomorrow.
Oh yeah, there's a battle.
Who's saying that?
Oh,
My guess is Emery's not gonna show up.
I'm planning to show up all week, but you know, tomorrow we're really pushing it.
That's it. Say it.
Ren, I just don't show up.
Oh, and then Cody, on this one, we're not taking the square root.
Oh, I had to go cosine minus first.
Yeah.
So we're solving for an angle.
There.
Huh?
That's
Are you
where I
gonna
messed
send
up.
that over?
So make sure you watch that, okay?
Like for skipping the first periods?
No, because I'm not actually skipping. I am excused for the day, for the first 2 periods.
Why?
Okay. Where are we?
Most of the time I don't show up at all
2 to go.
days, 'cause I
Okay.
finish work till like 3
So-
in the morning.
The diagram shows the right, so this diagram on the right shows a plan for a roof with support beam DE is parallel to
We're
AB.
missing a lot of
Okay, so
stuff.
these units are starting to come together, right? Okay, so the local building code requires that the angle formed at the peak, so here, it needs to be 70 to 80 degrees.
70 to 8.
70 to 80 degrees. Okay, so that snow and ice will not build up. So will this plan pass the local building code? So we know a side,
Because like it's math problem, we have to solve it.
And we-
If it was yes, we wouldn't have to solve it.
know a side. So what are we looking for?
An angle.
An angle. What angle?
C.
There's much easier ways to solve this. You just like wait till the first snowfall, and if ice builds up and the roof collapses, well, it's clearly not good enough.
No,
Yeah, that's
build
not-
like build
But
it on a
if
15
it's
year
yeah,
angle,
it's not my
so
building.
it's-
Like
Why
I
do
don't, I
these
could
like
care less.
construction
You
guys,
no,
like,
you
why do they
need.
make grade 11 math kids do it? Like they should be smart enough to know this.
Yeah.
Like,
so
why do we have to
it's
solve it for them? And they don't take our
Obviously-
opinion.
Obviously, they want to figure this out before they build it. So if it doesn't work, then they don't have to build a new roof. Right?
so much fun building your roof. You're getting paid by the hour.
15. Just take a long time to do it.
I don't have any.
No.
Just be efficient. Just takes a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have side. So what formula are we gonna use?
The Chinese are-
Side angle sides. We're gonna use.
I think the mathematicians have.
No,
Oh, no, side.
we don't know the side, right?
Yeah. So
For
we're
the
gonna
angle?
use C equals A squared plus B squared minus C squared
Yeah.
divided by 2AB.
So we're not using the Chinese one?
Yes, Emery, stop calling it that. Yes, we are using that,
Wait, why is it the Chinese?
the Coast C one. I don't know, but
Why
I
is it
feel
the Chinese one.
like that
Coast
is
C.
appropriating another culture,
Are you being racist?
which we do
Cameron?
not do in school.
Are you a racist?
Okay, moving on.
Pretty much, yeah.
So,
Wait, I'm not racist.
okay, guys, bring it back, please. Okay, So we're looking for our angle C, right? So if I'm solving for C in my second formula, what do I need to do to find C?
Divide by cosine.
Yeah, so take the inverse, right? So C is equal to cos inverse, big bracket, right?
And you're gonna have
And then we're gonna have a squared plus b squared minus c squared over,
so
2ab.
10 squared.
I guess I was a little obnoxious with that bracket.
10 squared plus 19.6 squared.
Yeah, so we'll call this A, we'll call this B, and this has to be C over here, right? Because it's across from the angle.
Minus 20 squared.
Now, just be careful here. Okay, 19.6 inches. Can we convert those 6 inches to feet?
Probably. If
Yeah.
you wanted it'd be
How many-
something and a half.
6 more would give you a foot, wouldn't it?
Say that again, Emery.
6 more inches would give you a foot.
Yeah, so if we only have 6 inches, we have how
Half
many?
a foot.
Half a foot. So 19.5 feet.
All the way back.
Yeah, really, Jones, you just messed that up for all of us.
Hey, it wasn't me. You guys should have known
I
that
think
6
it was
inches
you.
is half a foot. Okay. So let's go and put this stuff in. So C is equal to cos inverse. My A, so, and then again, be careful with our brackets here, right? So make sure you have one for the numerator. So 10 squared plus 19.5 squared minus 20 squared. Closing, that's your numerator bracket.
Divided by bracket.
And then bracket on the bottom, 2 times A, so 10 times B, 19.5, close bracket. So close bracket for the denominator, and now close bracket for the whole equation.
78.1.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. So C is equal to 78 degrees.
Wait, how do you bring up another line again?
You go second insert at the top. So second delete.
Oh.
And you only get one insert per every time that you touch that button.
Wait, I'm trying
Well,
to
you
find.
can, like,
I'm trying to find
you can put
insert.
it insert, like you insert between two things.
Yeah.
That saves me so much. Every time
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always delete everything.
So-
Oh, my sister freaking wrote me for how much delete a whole.
So let's say you're like right here, and you want it to be negative 19.5. You go second insert negative.
I always like I'll just when I'm doing it I'll just end up going like
Was it insert?
I'll just do that and then
Wait, you go insert, but it
And then you do
just
everything else.
rewrite everything.
Yeah. So if you do,
That helps me out so much
Yeah.
more.
good. Calculator learning day.
Hey, wait.
What's
Can
up?
you like just teach us everything about it?
I'm a tad bit
what every
confused.
button does.
Okay, almost there. Last one. So a 3-pointed star is made up of an equilateral triangle and 3 congruent isosceles triangles. So equilateral, what can we say about the sides?
They're all the
They're all
same.
equal.
They're all the same. What about isosceles?
Yeah. 2 are the same.
Yeah.
2 are the same, yeah. And what's our third type of triangle that we did not talk about?
Good question.
Not an equilateral, not an isosceles. Starts with an S.
Symmetrical.
Symmetry.
No. Reptiles have these on their
Scales.
tail. Yeah.
Scalies. It's a
Scalene.
scalene.
Scalene triangle.
Guys, I know more than you guys.
A scaleless triangle. I like that one. We'll just draw a triangle and put a bunch of scales on it. Yeah.
That'd be sick. And then make them like different colors.
Okay,
Sick, put it up
so-
to 19.
Determine the length of each side of the equilateral triangle. So we're just looking to find this side length right here, right? So what do we have? What do we not have? What are we gonna use here?
Oh, we're gonna use side angle side.
Side, angle, side, okay.
So c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c.
Okay,
Good job, Cody.
Thank
now
you. Thank you.
you're totally right, and you could use the cosine law here. You could also use the sine law here.
We don't want to.
You don't want
We're
to?
done with sine law.
No, we're not done with the
Sign
sine law.
laws for losers.
But, so if this is 20 degrees here, then these degrees 180 minus 20 is equal to 160 divided by 2. These are 80 degrees.
80 apiece.
Right? So if you found those, you could use the sine law.
But we don't really want to.
Yeah, sine law's what we use.
You guys are doing cosine law?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll solve with the sine law then.
Wow. Trader.
Okay? So this is gonna be
What a
my
cosine
C,
of
and that'll be my C. We'll call this A, and that'll be my A.
I think Joe is a personal vendetta with us.
A over sine A. So let's see over sine C. I'm looking for C.
Brackets and this stupid thing.
You need to use your square root button, Cody.
I did use square root. You see the long ass line. I don't know what you bracket that. Sorry. Bracket. 20 point, or 21, or 20.8, if you want point.
Over sine
Hey,
A.
Brody, I'm trying to figure it out.
20.1.
60.
Wait, no, 21, holy.
With 60 and then 60 as well.
21,
That one, Brody?
21. Or,
Yeah, 21,
Yeah,
yep.
or 20.8.
Yep, perfect.
Wait, I'm almost there.
Yep, no rush.
Hating for every
So-
slowpoke.
Emery, did you do cosine law or sine law here?
Cosine.
Okay, great. So yeah, so
Wait, no one's there.
depending on what information that you are given in the question, okay, you need to analyze your givens, and if you're given like a matching pair, right? If you have a matching pair in side length,
Coast 20.
you can find the side length using C, or using the sine law. If you have SSS or SAS, use cosine law. Right? If you have a pair and one other side or one other side angle, then we use our sine law, right? All right. So your practice problems.
Wait, what?
Did you get it, Cody?
Bracket.
You're the coast 20. Bracket.
Practice
Across the
problems
20.
are in your textbook. Okay, so do these for practice. You guys have a cosine law quiz coming up very shortly.